And now at least 11 people, including 3 children, were killed in a mass shooting at an illegal bar in South Africa near the administrative capital of Pretoria. The incident occurred in the early hours of Saturday at an unlicensed drinking spot located inside a hostel in the Saulsville township of Atteridgeville, west of the city. Police said multiple gunmen opened fire on patrons who were gathered at the venue. 10 victims died at the scene, while another later died after being taken to the hospital. A further 14 people sustained gunshot wounds and were admitted for medical treatment. Authorities confirmed that the children killed were aged between 12 and 16 and 3 years old. Police launched a manhunt for 3 male suspects believed to be responsible for the attack. And now for this conversation, I am joined from Gauteng by Tebogo Mashilompane, leader of the Forum for South Africa. Tebogo, you're welcome.
No, thank you so much for having us. Greetings to you and greetings to the viewers.
Thank you. Tebogo, very quickly, I'd like to just hear from you. What was your immediate reaction when you heard about the mass shooting in Atteridgeville that claimed 12 lives, including 3 children?
No, it was shocking and also expected. South Africa has now turned into a criminal state where criminals can do as they please. We have made a call to the president previously that they must declare state of emergency on crime in the country. We also suggested that there must be a death penalty, especially on issues of deliberate murder. So we made this call because of the murders that have been taking place. So this one, it's like now it's becoming normal that people can be shot any day in South Africa. 64 people are murdered daily in the country. So it is something that is happening in the country. It has become a mafia state now.
Well. Now, based on the information that is available, I know that the police have not given enough information at this point. What do you believe led to this tragic incident, and what should the public not speculate about right now?
The problem is that this is not the first incident. It happens every year towards December, and then there'll always be mass shootings in areas of entertainment, in taverns, pubs, restaurants, and so forth. So it is not something new. It happens all the time. So we don't know the motive behind, because there were children also there. And then if it was about adults, obviously it was going to be maybe that one individual that they're looking for. But it is a norm now that people can just storm in and start shooting people randomly. People come to their houses, in people's houses when there's gatherings, they start shooting and demand money. People go everywhere and start shooting people. So it happens. It is something that is more like people are now getting used to it, that there must be shooting every day in the country.
And now, Tebogo, do you believe, in your own professional view, do you believe that this is an isolated incident, or is it part of a wider pattern of violence in our communities? As right now, it has been alleged that the incident was due to territorial wars and extortion.
Yeah, it is possible with that, as you previously mentioned, that we will wait for the investigations, but it is possible because what is happening currently, as I'm saying, South Africa is becoming a mafia state. People are owning streets, there are people selling drugs, and then this street is for this one is for this ones, and also these illegal taverns also. There's competition among such particular people. So we cannot even say it is not true or it is true, but those allegations, if investigated well, they might be founded, because it happens in the country that people are owning streets. In the capital city of Pretoria, there are drug lords that are owning streets. There's human trafficking taking place. There's prostitution taking place. There are owners, and the police are aware of that, but nothing is happening. That is why we are saying South Africa is now beginning to be a mafia state.
Now, I happen to live down the road in KwaZulu-Natal, which is not too far from Atteridgeville. But I'd like to know, Tebogo, in your view, are the police and the government doing enough to protect communities like Atteridgeville? And if not, what must change immediately?
There's no enough. No, we've written to the provincial commissioner ourselves to tell him that police in Pretoria West are involved in illegal activities. Till to date, we have never received a response from that particular provincial commissioner. And we are willing to give him the lead to say, in this area, this is doing 1, 2, 3. Because we have done our job, we have done our investigations. Ours was just to hand over information to the provincial commissioner. But he decided not to respond to us. And I'm telling you about something that we've done 3 to 4 months ago, and then no response even today. So the police are not interested. In Pretoria West, there are police that are working with criminals, criminals that are selling drugs in Pretoria West. And we explained this to them through our letter, and also availed ourselves to say we are available to take you through this thing if maybe you are not aware as the provincial commissioner. But he decided to keep quiet. So police are not doing enough.
Tebogo, final remarks. I'd like to hear from you. What message do you have for the grieving families? And of course, a frightened nation, because G20 summit, President announced that gender-based violence is a public disaster and a state of emergency. But I'd like to hear from you what remarks you have for a frightened nation and what practical steps can be taken to prevent another tragedy like this, especially it being the festive period.
Yes, the issue is that politicians will always talk. The president has said some things, but nothing will happen. He will always make a speech and say this must happen and so forth. So what we are saying is that communities must now begin to strengthen their community patrols, and then they make sure that they protect one another, and then they must be vigilant at all times. Communities must have cell phones of their neighbors, because there are some areas where people cannot talk to their neighbors. But I'm saying that must be something of the past. People must begin now to unite as communities and fight these demons, because it is proven that we are living in a state where police are sometimes not there, and sometimes they're also dealing with the same people that we are scared of. So the nation is crying, the people are scared, but we are simply saying communities must strengthen their patrols. And then one of the biggest messages is that it's an unfortunate something that I'll mention. Every household must have a gun. It's unfortunate part. We need to train to have licensed firearms, and then so that we can protect ourselves, our wives, our children, and our relatives. Otherwise, nobody's going to protect us. So it's a message that we are sending to the communities, that be united, make sure that you look after one another, and then have those street committees, have regular meetings, discuss this type of crimes, expose the corruption, and then hand it over to the police. But at the same time, make sure that you are protecting yourself as communities. You are united, because if the community is divided, nothing will happen.
Leader of a forum for South Africa, Tebogo Mashilompane, thank you for your time, sir.
No, thank you so much for having us.